Ray Lewis. Shannon, I'll start with you. Was posting this video a good move by Odell?
I like the video because he's showing example of how doing very similar actions on the field, showing the very similar emotions to the greatest quarterback of all time, how one is viewed positive and the other is viewed negative. But what Odell doesn't understand, if the people are not already in your camp, there's no way you're going to bring them over there. See, a lot of people, and Ray, you know this, you become accomplished and they say, well, okay, he could do no wrong. You can be wrong because you tell the story of how you, in the Jets game, how you was yelling and Mike Singletary pulled you to the side. Ray Lewis is a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a Super Bowl MVP, gone to 13 Pro Bowls. But he's like, I was wrong in that situation. It's okay to be wrong. Ray Lewis is still just as accomplished. He was just wrong in this instance. I've had no problem saying Odell Beckham Jr., when he was wrong in an instance, he's wrong. Right. I have no problem saying that about Tom Brady, although he's even more accomplished and even greater. He can be wrong. That's my only point. He made a very valid comparison. You look at Tom Brady pulling his helmet off, he's upset. Odell pulling his helmet off, he's upset. It's just how it's viewed through the prism of, well, you know, he's got 5 Super Bowls. I mean, so him being wrong should be beneath him.
Yeah, and so I kind of definitely agree with that because, you know, you take a Odell ran on the sideline and, oh my gosh, for 2-3 weeks they're playing it, you know, all day long. Brady does the same exact thing, and you're like, oh, that's just Tom Brady.
That's competitive
right,
fire.
that's just competitive fire. And it's really the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Like, at the end of the day, both of them are trying to get to the same place, right? And I think something that always has to be spoken of, Shannon just mentioned that you have to be very careful to compare yourself to the GOAT or GOAT chasing until you actually do something to compare yourself to the GOAT chasing, right? Because Odell right now is one of the best receivers in the game. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham. So he's in a group of pretty good players. Now you're talking about Tom Brady. You're talking about 2-time MVP, 4-time Super Bowl MVP, 5-time Super Bowl champion, 12-time Pro Bowler. The credibility of what that's built over the years, right? And I kind of said this last night when I was drawing up this, you know, being the best at something is one thing. Being the greatest of all time is a totally different conversation. Does it make it better? Absolutely not. Does it make it fair that Tom Brady can do that and Odell Beckham can do that? Absolutely not. But what happens is you can then put yourself in a position that, like myself, was accomplished, but took what Mike Singletary said to me and said, yes, sir, I get it, coach. And for me as a leader, it forever changed the way that I looked at the game. I don't know if you can. Now, there are times that I got mad in the game, and there are times that I got, you know, threw my helmet. I did the same thing these guys did. But I think, you know, when Odell starts to talk about these things, then you have to realize your track record will follow you the rest of your life. So everything you do, right? So the playoff game, that you're somewhere else. And let me tell you something Tom Brady did for me. Seriously. If Tom Brady can show you how to play, let me tell you what Tom Brady taught me. Tom Brady, the week before a playoff game, is doing nothing else but sitting in the film room, clicking the clicker. And so you know what I did when I got ready to play Tom Brady? I started sitting in the room, taking the same clicker, saying, I guarantee you, you think you're going to study me that much, then I'm going to study you as equally as much as you think I'm going to study you. So it's certain things that you take away from great players, right? And one of the things that I took away from him, I guarantee you, that man studies more film than probably anybody. And that's where I started to study more film because I started to appreciate the only way to beat Tom Brady, the only way to be considered one of the greatest of all time is you have to find a way to beat them. And I think the video comparison of the outbursts, yeah, cool. But there's a lot else that goes along with being the greatest of all time.
So I have one question for both of you.
Yeah.
Over Tom Brady's 18 seasons, has the emotion that he shows on the field, and no quarterback has ever shown as much emotion as Tom Brady does on a consistent basis, has any of that emotion ever hurt his football team? Has it ever detracted from them winning a football game?
Well, I don't know if we can answer that. Yeah, can we answer that?
Okay, I'm a big no on this because it's always positive energy. It's always
How do you
channeled
know it's
energy.
positive?
Yeah,
Because
see, right.
you could just see what happens on the field because he's celebrating or he's angry when his whole team is angry about a call or something that's gone wrong for them. You talked about the game at Carolina on Monday night. Gronkowski got tackled in the end zone, and Brady ran up to the end zone
That was
like,
the first
how
time.
can you?
He's the first guy to get tackled. He's the first
No,
guy
I'm
to miss
just
a
saying,
call.
but that's
You
team
excuse me?
unifying. Everybody's for Tom Brady to then go after the referee. Is it about him? Is he trying to build a brand? Is he a solo act? No. I have never, in all my years of talking to former Patriots, heard one negative thing about Tom Brady behind closed doors.
I have never
That
heard
he's
that about
nothing-
Peyton Manning either.
Okay, well, that's fine, but we're talking about Tom Brady versus Odell right now. We're talking about positive energy versus Odell's what I call, it's too much negative energy. It's team distracting. It's Odell being a solo act where he goes off. It's all about Odell in his game that he's having against Josh Norman. And he just goes completely over the edge and causes a big scene on the sideline because he's in a battle with Odell. Right?
Okay, so let me get this right. So if Odell, so let's just say over the next 10 years, Odell win 3 Super Bowls, it would be okay for him to display the behavior he's displaying now.
Well, again, is it going to be positive to help his team? I just need to know because
how-
I don't see it help his team yet at all.
How was yelling at Daquan Underwood for running
Tyquan
Underwood for running the wrong route? How was that team building?
There's no quarterback in the history of this game who hasn't taken some receiver to task for not running the right route. Ben Roethlisberger showed up Antonio Brown in the Monday night game. What are you doing? That's Antonio. He's the best receiver in football.
It's wrong.
Wow.
Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. And that's my point, Skip. I'm not trying. See, you think if I say Tom Brady is wrong at any given moment, that diminishes his greatness and what he's accomplished.
But
No.
you keep calling him wrong for 2 incidents. He's had 2 incidents with his coordinator.
Okay, he could be wrong
in
in those.
18 years. He's not wrong because in both cases, he didn't start it. The coordinator started with him. Wait a second. On Tyquan Underwood, he takes the kid who's he's going to last 6 games with the team, so he's trying to teach him the ropes of how to run the route. Takes him all the way to the bench and says, this is how you have to run it. And Bill O'Brien is the coordinator at that point, doesn't like it and goes over and says, leave the kid alone. And Tom turns around and says, who the hell are you to tell me to leave him alone? And they get into it, and guess what? It came and it went, and 5 minutes later, they're talking strategy.
Tom Brady ever run a route? So Tyquan Underwood should have said, Brady, this is how you throw this comeback.
Oh,
come on. Shannon,
that's just silliness.
Come on.
No.
I
You gotta relax a little
I just
bit.
think the power of true respect is never to disrespect.
Right.
Okay,
And,
but
so
in
all
both
I'm saying
cases,
is, and all I'm saying is,
Okay, but-
wherever the situation was, there's one thing as a leader
okay,
that I learned from.
I got you. But
when
remember,
you're out there, Skip, the bottom line is we all are here for one goal.
got it.
I have no problem with anyone
we
getting
all
excited
mean-
on
No,
the, on
yeah,
the
no.
sidelines at all to begin with, but so the comparison of Odell and Brady is fine with me in that regard. But to your point, the evidence is that when Brady does that, they win championships because they got the championships. Like
that's what I
Odell
said.
has to earn the other
gotta
side
earn
of
it,
it. He can be
absolutely.
passionate, but then also you got to
Gotta
win.
earn
Even
it.
earning a championship, you could still be wrong.
Still be wrong.
Sure. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.